Good morning. I am LaFonda Sutton Burke, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Los Angeles International Airport Area Port Director. I would like to thank all members of the news media and our very special guests for being here this morning. Today, CBP, in conjunction with our Los Angeles World Airport partners, is announcing the introduction of Simplified Arrival at LAX. Simplified Arrival is an enhanced international arrival process that uses biometric facial comparison technology to automate the document checks that are already required for admission into the United States. We are also deploying biometric facial comparison technology to our global entry kiosk, making the arrival of global entry members even faster. Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, these innovations will make the traveler's experience touchless, fast, efficient, and secure. In fact, LAX is one of the first major airports in the country to adopt this new technology. So when travel fully reopens, we will be ready to process millions of travelers in an expedited and efficient manner. Before we start, let me introduce our very distinguished guests. Let me start with Diane J. Sabatino, Deputy Executive Assistant Commissioner for U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Mrs. Sabatino, we appreciate your presence. We also have one of our strategic partners, Mr. Justin Urbachi, Chief Executive Officer for Los Angeles World Airports. Mr. Urbachi, thank you very much. And Mr. Carlos C. Martel, Director of Field Operations for U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Office of Field Operations in Los Angeles. Mr. Martel, thank you very much for being here. After delivering their remarks, our speakers will answer a few questions, and we will proceed with a couple of demonstrations. So you will see how the deployment of facial comparison technology will make your arrival into the United States seamless, fast, and secure the next time you travel internationally. Without any further ado, let me introduce our first guest. Diane J. Sabatino became the Deputy Executive Assistant Commissioner of the Office of Field Operations in July 2020. In this role, Mrs. Sabatino oversees 31,250 employees, including approximately 25,400 CBP officers and CBP agriculture specialists that protect the United States borders. She has the fiduciary responsibility of an annual operating budget of $6.5 billion for operations at over 330 ports of entry, and many programs that support the national security, immigration, customs, and commercial trade-related missions of CBP.
Thank you, Port Director Sutton Burke, and welcome everyone. I'm really happy to be here in Los Angeles this morning, and I certainly want to thank Mr. Urbachi, the CEO of Los Angeles World Airports, and his team for making this event possible for us. And also thank you to the Los Angeles World Airports Board, as well as the CBP team here in Los Angeles. As LaFonda stated, my name is Diane J. Sabatino, and I recently started my role as the Deputy Executive Assistant Commissioner for the Office of Field Operations. It's a bit unusual of an experience to be at one of the nation's busiest airports, right here at LAX, which is normally bustling with travelers. But you can really see and feel the major impacts of COVID-19 upon our travel system right here today. But with this new reality comes a significant opportunity for the government and our stakeholders in air travel to leverage capabilities and truly transform the future of touchless travel. CBP has a congressional mandate to biometrically record foreign nationals' entry and exit to and from the United States, as well as a clear authority and responsibility to confirm the identity of all international travelers. And we believe that public-private partnerships are the best way to fulfill that congressional mandate for a biometric entry-exit system. And you're seeing the success of that partnership between CBP and LAX right here today. I want to highlight, CBP's ongoing efforts to further secure and transform the passenger experience through facial biometrics and public-private partnerships. And when I say ongoing, it's because CBP has been implementing our vision of a secure, seamless, and touchless travel experience with our air travel partners long before COVID-19 hit us. But this pandemic makes the need for a more secure, touchless travel experience even more critical right now. CBP and our partners here at LAWA stand together today to support the travel recovery efforts, to help rebuild traveler confidence and commemorate another milestone in the implementation of biometric entry and exit. And specifically, we're announcing the launch of Simplified Arrival. It's an enhanced international arrival process that uses biometric facial comparison technology to automate the manual document checks that we do today that are already required for admission into the United States. But the benefits include both enhanced security and an efficient touchless travel process, which is critical as we mitigate the impact of COVID-19. But this is just the first step in re-envisioning how travelers arrive into the United States. This secure, streamlined process benefits airlines, airports, and travelers, but it also provides our CBP officers time to focus on travelers' intent instead of on administrative burdensome tasks. Since September 2018, with the initial deployments of the facial comparison technology, we've apprehended almost 300 imposters trying to arrive to our ports of entry. So in addition to the streamlined, enhanced passenger experience and the touchless process, we've added another layer of security as well. And when arriving at select airports during international travel, passengers will now simply pause for a photo at the CBP primary inspection area. And why a photo? Because it's easy and it's intuitive. Everyone knows how to take a photo. And in a matter of seconds, our biometric facial comparison service will automatically compare the traveler's new photo to images that the traveler's already provided to the government, such as passport and visa photos. And with the enhanced simplified arrival process, foreign travelers will confirm their identity through the photo match and no longer need to provide fingerprints if they're return travelers. And CBP combines the top-performing NEC3 algorithm with highly trained CBP officers who are skilled at verifying the authenticity of travel documents to ensure the highest possible accuracy. And travelers who do not wish to participate in the facial biometric process simply notify a CBP officer and request a manual document check. And our process consistent with the existing requirements for entry to the United States that we have in place today. But Simplified Arrival also complements the facial biometric boarding process that takes place upon departure right here at LAX and other select airports. The biometric exit process offers the same benefits: secure, touchless, and efficient. To date, we've processed over 54 million travelers through facial biometrics. And we built our facial biometric comparison service to support the entire travel journey wherever identity verification is needed. So now CBP can offer our stakeholders identity as a service throughout the travel process, including check-in, baggage drop, TSA screening, and departure to further secure and streamline that travel process. Mr. Urbachi and his team here at LAX, they're really leaning forward in their partnership with us, and for that we are so grateful. No one envisioned this global pandemic, but here we are poised to build traveler confidence throughout the whole travel continuum with their partnership. But as new technology is deployed, there's also legitimate questions being raised about privacy, and I want to underscore CBP's commitment to travelers' privacy, which is at the core of our entry-exit efforts, and it can't be overstated. We take our privacy obligations and responsibilities very seriously. And as I mentioned, travelers can also always opt out of the biometric process. And for U.S. citizens, they can voluntarily participate. We keep photos of U.S. citizens for up to 12 hours, often deleted much sooner than that, but primarily only to serve as a backstop in the event of an extended system outage or for disaster recovery purposes. So privacy and data security, they're not just afterthoughts. They were key components of, our biometric efforts. They were baked into the process from the beginning. So what's next for our journey to transform touchless travel? In addition to expanding the biometric exit and simplified arrival, as Port Director Sutton Burke mentioned, we've also upgraded global entry, and that's CBP's flagship Trusted Traveler program, with facial biometrics at 19 airports, including right here at LAX. And this has eliminated the need for global entry members to scan fingerprints and travel documents upon arrival, again, providing a secure and touchless experience. And you'll have the opportunity to see a demo of this enhanced process this morning. But again, it's truly a pleasure to be here today and to announce the start of Simplified Arrival and really, highlight the collaboration and partnership with LAWA and Justin Urbachi and his team. And, we're at a critical turning point in the implementation of the biometric entry-exit program and have found a path forward that transforms travel for all travelers. And CBP is fully committed to working with all of our stakeholders and partners to support the travel recovery efforts and rebuild that traveler confidence in safe travel. So we thank you, Los Angeles, for your commitment to transforming travel with us through biometrics and for your long-term partnership. I look forward to advancing our shared vision of identity as a service to provide air travelers a secure, touchless process wherever identity verification is required. And to our other air travel industry partners, I proudly say that CBP, we're ready to transform travel together with you. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sabatino. Our next guest, Mr. Justin Urbachi, serves as the Chief Executive Officer for Los Angeles World Airports. He has been with LAWA since October 2016 and was appointed as CEO by Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti in June 2020. As CEO, Mr. Urbachi has oversight of Los Angeles International Airport and Van Nuys General Aviation Airport. He leads the team responsible for transforming LAX into a world-class airport for the modern traveler and thus returning LAX to its iconic status. His responsibilities involve managing more than $14 billion in programs to revolutionize how guests access the airport, to modernize all of LAX's terminals, and to significantly improve operations, retail, food and beverage, and the overall guest experience. Mr. Urbachi.
Thank you very much, Director Sutton Burke, and thank you, Deputy Executive Assistant Commissioner Sabatino, for traveling all the way to Los Angeles to make this important announcement with us at LAX. We really appreciate your partnership and your leadership and look forward to having many more of these types of openings in the future. Field Operations Director Martel, thank you also for your leadership and your participation in today's event. It's always good to see you and your team here. The strong partnership between LAWA and Customs and Border Protection is a long-standing one, but one that is even more important and more noticed during this COVID-19 pandemic. Your teams have been responsive, collaborative, and solution-oriented, and we've been able to work together to create a safer, healthier airport experience. Today we have the opportunity to celebrate one of these efforts, a giant leap forward in passenger processing technology at LAX. U.S. Customs and Border Protection shares LAWA's vision on the importance of integrating proven, cutting-edge innovation to create a faster, safer, more secure passenger journey that results in an exceptional guest experience. And CBP has been a critical collaborator in our effort to be the world's premier airport for international arrivals. As many of our international passengers know, in the past, the customs process could sometimes mean longer wait times. That was exacerbated by the continuing climb in international traffic, until recently, of course, and the fact that many of the processes involved manual work by CBP officers. But over the last few years, both our federal partners and Los Angeles World Airports have worked hand in hand to implement the very best technology, which has reduced wait times, enhanced safety, security, and created a much more streamlined and predictable process for our passengers. And now with Simplified Arrivals, we are pushing that effort even further with biometric technology that will save travelers a significant amount of wait time when they enter the U.S. at LAX. With Simplified Arrival, passengers can get out of the airport and into the amazing city of Los Angeles that more quickly. And I know that's something that all our international guests will appreciate. In addition to simplifying the arrivals process, the new technology also serves as part of our ongoing commitment to make LAX a safe, healthy, and clean environment as travelers slowly return to the skies. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been devastating for aviation around the world. At Los Angeles airports, we have met this moment head-on with an eye toward innovation, adaptation, and flexibility. Since early spring, we have been deploying new technology like electric cleaners, ultraviolet solutions to clean the air and our surfaces, installing hundreds of plexiglass shields and barriers, installing touchless faucets, testing thermal imaging cameras to detect elevated body temperatures, and reimagining the airport as a touchless experience. Now, thanks to our partnership with CBP, we are expanding the touch-free experience to the customs process. This new simplified arrivals process will play a big role in shaping visitors' first impressions of LAX and reassure Southern California residents that their airport is coming back stronger than ever. Thank you to CBP for being such a strong partner with LAWA and for choosing LAX as a location for this new technology. And thank you for joining us here today for this exciting announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Urbachi. Our last speaker is my boss, Mr. Carlos C. Martel. He serves as the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Director of Field Operations in Los Angeles. In this capacity, he oversees all CBP operations in the greater Los Angeles and Las Vegas, Nevada area, including the Los Angeles International Airport, the Los Angeles and Long Beach Seaport, and McCarran International Airport. The Los Angeles Field Office is one of the largest, most complex, and important CBP operations in the country. The Los Angeles Long Beach Seaport is the largest port complex in the nation, accounting for approximately 35% of all maritime cargo entering the country, while LAX is the second busiest international airport in the nation. Mr. Martel.
Thank you, Ms. Sutton-Burke, for the introduction. It truly is a privilege and a pleasure to be here today to launch Simplified Arrival at LAX with my Deputy Executive Assistant Commissioner, Diane Sabatino, and with Los Angeles World Airport CEO, Justin Urbachi. Thank you for being here today with us. The great Henry Ford once said, if everything is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. A single phrase with a profound meaning that clearly reflects the outstanding and successful partnership between CBP Los Angeles and Los Angeles World Airports. Over the years, we've worked with an aligned vision, successfully deploying critical resources and technological innovations, all with the same goal of improving the traveler experience while maintaining the highest level of national security. For example, in 2012, CBP and LAWA successfully launched Global Entry at LAX. Global Entry is a trusted traveler program that expedites the entry of pre-approved members into the United States. To accomplish this, we work closely with LAWA to redesign the inspection area and establish communication networks so we can implement the new technology. Today, you'll get a chance to see the new Global Entry kiosks that incorporate facial biometrics, adding an extra layer of security while making the process even more efficient and touchless for the travelers that arrive in LA. In 2015, we successfully launched Automated Passport Control, also known as the APC program. APCs are self-service kiosks in the primary inspection area that allow international travelers and family groups to submit their customs declaration and biographical information electronically when they arrive into LAX. This step served to streamline the inspection process before travelers engage with the CBP officer. APCs are a great example of a successful public-private partnership with airport partners like LAWA. In 2017, we introduced Mobile Passport Control, also known as the MPC program, the first smartphone authorized app to expedite a traveler's arrival into the United States. MPC is free, fast, and convenient. And with the support of LAWA, we offer free dedicated MPC Wi-Fi so that travelers can download and use the app as soon as they disembark their flights. As for biometric exit, LAWA was one of CBP's initial partners to pilot facial biometrics at departure using e-gates in 2017. This endeavor was very successful, and we continue to test this technology at LAX in partnership with LAWA. To give you an idea of how biometric entry works, when an international traveler when they arrive at a departure gate, they'll now pause for a photo to verify their identity. Biometric exit not only enhances security while streamlining the departure of international travelers, it provides a touchless process as it removes the need to handle any travel documents. We are also excited to offer CBP's travel verification service to support LAWA's efforts to expand biometric boarding to all departure gates at Tibet and the satellite terminals around LAX to further secure and enhance the customer experience. And today, we're excited to launch Simplified Arrival at LAX with our partners at LAWA. This enhanced process will complement biometric boarding at departure, which is also secure, efficient, and touchless. As we all know, the greater Los Angeles area is an important tourism and entertainment destination that attracts millions of visitors from all around the world every day. Tourism is key to the prosperity and future of our region and our local communities. Prior to COVID-19, CBP officers at LAX processed an average of 35,000 international travelers per day, arriving on roughly 165 international flights. In fact, a few years ago, LAX became the second busiest airport in the country, only surpassed by JFK. As you can see today, the COVID pandemic has had a tremendous impact in international air travel. This time of year, the Tom Bradley International Terminal saw about 5 times more passengers arriving here than we'll see arriving here today. We believe that the launch of Simplified Arrival at LAX will play an important role in supporting our local travel recovery efforts, rebuilding traveler confidence, as well as delivering a touchless experience for anyone arriving into Los Angeles. More importantly, Simplified Arrival enables our CBP officers to focus on a traveler's intent rather than expending time reviewing travel documents, again making the process more efficient and secure. In closing, I'd like to thank you all for being here today, and I want to assure you that the pandemic has not disrupted CBP's ability to process international travelers that arrive into the Los Angeles area. I also want to mention that in response to COVID, we've put measures into place to minimize the contact between CBP personnel and the traveling public. We've installed plexiglass barriers throughout our facility. We've maintained social distancing protocols, and we've also equipped our CBP officers with personal protective equipment. We are confident that travel will resume in the near future, and we look forward to expanding our partnership with LAWA, and will continue to identify new opportunities to enhance the travel experience. Our time-tested partnership is stronger than ever, and I am confident that in launching Simplified Arrival together with LAWA, success will take care of itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martel. We will now open it up to a few questions.
When will this be implemented, and how do you see this expanding the speed of entry for travelers internationally?
We went live officially on Monday. The simplified arrival process has reduced the processing time down to approximately 6 seconds. It's very seamless.
And how has the response been from travelers?
We have had positive response from the travelers thus far. Any additional questions?
Is there an impact on staffing, the amount of people you need to implement this program? Does it increase the amount of staff you need to do this, or does it decrease it, or how does it affect the people you have here today?
To date, it has not increased any additional staffing because the process is new. We are paying very close attention to ensure that the processing procedures will not be impacted and stand ready in the event that they are. But right now, we have not seen impact at all in staffing. Yes, sir.
Just to add, and certainly with the simplified arrival process, we've really streamlined and enhanced the passenger experience. And the priority certainly is the health and safety issues that come with the deployment of simplified arrival. The security measures, complementing that enhanced, passenger experience. But we do have a congressional mandate to implement the biometric and entry and exit process. And going back to 2004, when U.S. Visit was deployed. That was the entry piece, and it relied on the touch part with foreign nationals with fingerprints. With simplified arrival, again, moving to that touchless experience, but also the congressional mandate that we had to implement a biometric exit. CBP could not do it alone. There would have been a dramatic impact on staffing because we would have had to deploy officers to gates to handle that exit piece. But that's where, investing in that public-private partnership, certainly with Mr. Urbachi and his team here with LAWA at LAX, have given us the opportunity to deploy this technology where we're not committing resources in that environment, where it's a seamless process for the individuals, again, that intuitive quick photo that they can take. So it actually gives our officers more time to really focus on the significant threats that we see evolving day to day.
Time-wise, though, obviously with COVID-19, we all are masks. So with the facial recognition now, is that going to slow down the process to unmask, take a picture, and then clean the area, remask, all that kind of thing?
We are certainly working with our partners in looking at the algorithms where the passengers don't have to remove their masks. We're hoping that's down the road for us, but for now, it is simply removing the mask. It doesn't add a significant amount of time to the process. But again, it's already a reduced time frame because there isn't that those administrative tasks that they would normally handle. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. For simplified arrival, it is at every passenger primary booth. So it's not a standalone piece of equipment. This is right at primary where the officer would normally take your passport, or foreign nationals would provide their fingerprints. It's just automating the process of that manual document verification that takes place right at the primary booth. And how many booths, LaFonda, here at LAX? 80 booths in this terminal.
Yes. So I'd like to thank everyone for your questions. We're now going to move to demonstration.
wait until everybody's ready. Let me know. She's not ready yet, so we wait. Let me know when everybody's ready. Let me know. We're rolling?
Rolling.
Rolling. Okay, we're gonna count to 5. 5, 4, 3.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then we'll go to the demonstration.
Okay. We're gonna go camera by camera. The first camera for
morning.
the demo is
Good morning, ladies and
the
gentlemen.
YouTube camera. After that, so, officer, please, she's gonna do the presentation. Go ahead.
Okay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Los Angeles International Airport. My name is Julie Alvarez, and I'm a Customs and Border Protection Officer here at LAX. So today we will be giving you a demonstration as far as how Simplified Arrival is going to be conducted here at LAX. First off, as soon as passengers deplane, they will be approaching the Federal Inspection area. They'll be standing in line, waiting to be called by an officer. First thing they will notice is signage on every single one of the booths, letting them know, walking them through what's about to take place, and also reassuring them how important their information is and how serious it is for us that the security and their identity is protected at all times. Second thing that will happen as soon as the officer calls them over is that the passenger will approach the front of the booth, and if you just walk with me, I'll meet you at the other end. The passenger would be filling out or going through a series of steps before approaching the officer. Now, everything has been condensed to one step, and one step only, which is taking a picture. They'll come up, take a picture, and within seconds, the system is able to identify who the passenger is and compare it to the pictures that are on our databases based on the pictures that they have taken with either passport, U.S. visa, or any U.S. issued documents. This system has made it an effortless, and honestly, it's simplified the process a lot for us as officers. It's efficient, not only for the officer, but for the passenger. Like I said, in the past, the passenger would have to go through a series of steps in order to be able to finally exit the airport and federal inspection area. Now it's all condensed to one. As far as for the officer goes, with one picture, we're able to not only identify the person, verify their identity, and also retrieve any pertinent information that will help us conduct our inspections efficiently. It's also safer because it's touchless. It's only one picture. And personally, I love it. And the feedback that I've gotten from passengers is really amazing. And they are shocked. The one remark that I usually get is, "That's it." And I say, "Yeah, that's it." It's definitely a step in the right direction. Is there any questions for me?
No, thank you, Officer Alvarez.
Absolutely, my
Great
pleasure.
work.
What's that?
Great work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now we proceed for government appeals.
Mr. Urbachi, at this time, we'll all go down. We'll note to go over for demonstration. So the previous system required the global entry approved traveler to conduct a series of steps in order for them to be admitted through global entry. While not extremely time consuming or cumbersome, it did require them to touch the screen a multitude of times in order to answer the customs declarations, as well as scan their passport and their fingerprints. The new system for global entry facial reduces the amount of time that it takes the traveler to process through global entry by approximately 90%, from an average of 45 seconds down to 6 seconds, and only requires them to touch the screen 3 times. Once to start the process, once to take the photo, and once to submit the photo. After that, using facial comparison technology, a search will be conducted of the existing global entry photo, and the traveler will then be given a receipt, which they will hand to the CBP officer and exit the FIS. The entire process, again, only takes about 6 seconds. All right. Any questions on global entry?
No, thank you, sir. Great job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So that concludes our demonstration. And so